What's up, oddballs? Welcome into the Oddity Shop, the podcast where we always have the bazaar on sale. And
she always wants to skip that.
I know. I am your wonderful curator, Kara. This is your other curator, Zachary. And this is the podcast where we
usually bring you creepy, odd, weird, strange stories from around the world. But in this one, in fact, dear listeners, once again, we are bringing you your own stories. So
yes, these are all your write-ins.
We have some good write-ins too. But first, it is 2 days until a Christmas. So, Kara, Merry Christmas.
Thanks. Merry Christmas to you. I hope that, well, tomorrow is technically Christmas Eve. So people are going to be celebrating and doing stuff tomorrow. I hope everything goes swimmingly and there's no drama.
Yes. And to all of our listeners, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, all the other ones that I'm forgetting.
All the other holidays.
Hopefully you enjoy it. And you know what? If you are using listening to this podcast as an excuse to escape your family for a few minutes, thank you for choosing us.
Okay.
All right.
I'm over the cold. What about you?
Dude. I am just, well, you know, because I just we were on the cruise for part of the cold, and then I was just in Arizona for the other part of the cold. Like, I just keep getting teased with this little bit of sunlight, and it's somehow making the seasonal depression worse.
Yeah.
But it's Christmas, so we can't be depressed on Christmas. We'll wait for the 27th.
Right. Speaking of being depressed, we don't want to be depressed, and we don't want our mental health to not be great. So we are taking a little bit of break, which we've never done.
No, we've been doing this for 2 years straight. We've not missed a single week.
We've diligently worked hard to be 6 weeks ahead so that we never felt like we were letting you guys down, so that you always had an episode every week. And that's just not realistic.
So with that, we are going to take off the month of January.
Yes.
We love you guys. Now, with that being said, we're still going to be active on social for our Patrons. We're still going to be posting in there. What we've decided to do is for the month of January, we're each going to pick 2 of our favorite episodes that we've done from way back in the archives.
Mm-hmm.
Probably have a lot of new listeners. You might not have heard those. So the month of January, you will be hearing our favorites on a little bit of a throwback.
Yeah.
And this is so that we can come back and actually we were so burnt out on writing.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that neither of us murdered the other person,
Listen, y'all, it got bad around here.
It got bad. We see too much of each other. And we're like siblings at this point of our lives. So we know how to cut deep.
Yeah, we do. It's not good. But it's fine. We're fine. But
we're over it. But we are taking a much needed break.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys all understand.
Yes. And, still talk to us and do all those fun things. We're still going to be working during that time to bring you some really cool stuff, hopefully, for 2025, both on and off show.
Yeah. So we're not going anywhere. We got to take a break from writing and recording for a little bit for our sanity. But anyway, let's stop boring these wonderful people and let's read them.
Perfect.
Their stories.
Awesome.
Okay.
Can I go first?
Yes, of course you can. I'm excited because I haven't actually read any of these.
So I love this one because it came from a write-in who I love dearly, and I think are awesome listeners of ours. Well, it's written by one, but her and her siblings are the greatest people. So I'm going to read you a story called Ouija Experiences. And Kara, even if you did read this one, I have an update in my text that came through as we put the script for this episode together in the most funny timing. I know.
Wait, that's wild. Okay, but I didn't read it.
Here we go. It was my birthday, so I had some friends over for the weekend. There were 4 friends plus my twin, so that makes 6 people, including me. We were bored, so I made a Ouija on some notebook paper and used a tiny wreath as a planchette.
Oh my God.
We dimmed the lights, burned a candle. Classic Ouija scene. We didn't get much except something named Mr. P, and that he liked boats. And then in parentheses, Mr. P is a type of boat, by the way. I didn't know that until a few days later when I decided to look into it.
Oh, that's weird.
We were using a light-up duck as a stronger source of light because the candle was not cutting it.
A light up.
It went out, despite the fact that I was charging it all night before the sleepover. It turned back on after we finished.
Oh.
I know. That's the sign right there. That would be all I needed to see.
Yeah, that's weird.
When we were finishing up, we said, "We are leaving now. You may not contact us or follow us. Do you understand?"
Ooh.
the planchette wreath thing went to no, which freaked us out. We said goodbye and ended it. After that, we all really wanted green beans and mushroom soup, which was weird.
That's so random.
We went to sleep immediately because we were all so drained, which was also a bit weird. Nothing has really happened since the Ouija, except my dog will look in my closet, wag his tail, sigh, and then lay down. He's never done this before. That's a little bit creepy. Then she finishes it with, if I have any updates, I'll tell y'all, Gracie. Okay. I did get an update.
Okay, I have one side note before I get into this. Delilah is in the living room playing, and I'm sorry if you can hear her. She needs her playtime. Okay, I was going to ask when was this, but obviously it was recent because we've got an update. The fact that you guys
this was in the last couple months.
Okay, the fact that you guys all really wanted green beans and mushroom soup and that you just had that on hand is funny to me because I don't think I would have those two.
I don't know that they had it on hand, but maybe they got the craving from Mr. P.
Okay. Well, that's what I was thinking. The craving definitely came from something, but I was assuming that they just had it on hand. The part about them feeling drained, that actually isn't that weird to me because when you are doing anything with energy, as far as like maybe, I don't want to say conjuring, but like the Ouija board or you're putting intentions into things, you do drain yourself. So that doesn't sound that too weird to me. This is really weird though. And the fact that it's a type of boat is even stranger. So I'm wondering, number one, where do they live? Do they live by a lake? And is this like a neighbor or an entity that lived close that like had a boat or something like that? Like I'm just trying to figure, like in my head, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
How it came through.
And then the closet, the dog, and like the tail, that's, I don't know. I don't like that though. Cause I'm thinking, is Mr. P creepy or is it something else that's creepy? I don't know. What's the update?
Okay. So here's the update. The best part is they text me and go, hey, I have an update to put on the story I gave y'all. And I just respond with, oh my God, that's so funny. And I get a question mark back. I send her a picture of my computer where I'm literally working on the script. I said, I'm literally writing it up right now.
That's funny.
My twin and I have electric toothbrushes and they keep turning on at night. Now, this gets really deep because do you remember when we did our Ouija episode?
I have goosebumps.
The flosser, the water flosser,
water pick,
yes,
kept turning on.
I know, it's weird. And we are blood related. So maybe something to do there. I don't know. Okay. So Gracie, thank you. Thank you to you and
also,
Mary.
Yes. Thank you so much.
I hope you guys enjoy it and we did your story justice, and also send us more because that was great.
I have goosebumps. I don't know if it's going to be in this, but for me, your audio keeps doing this really creepy, like robot inflection every once in a while. It's scaring me that we're talking about Ouijas.
Oh gosh, let's hope it's not.
Because we've been recording now for like 2.5 hours and it has not done that the entire time.
Go back and listen to the Sliders episode if you want an explanation on why. Okay.
Yeah, right. Creepy. Weird. Okay, are we ready? This one looks like it might be a little bit of a longer one. Are you strapped in, everybody?
I'm ready. So this one was sent to us, but I have purposely not read it. No, because I read the other one, so I wanted to be surprised on this one.
Okay. This is fun. Okay.
This also comes from another really, really great listener.
Yes. Hi, guys. I'm so sorry it took me so long to write these in. I'm currently sitting down to watch Paranormal, and I thought, what better time to tell you about my experiences with the paranormal. Paranormal is cute. I remember having dreams of talking to family members that have passed since when I was really young. I think it's supposed to be
that have passed since I was really young.
So, oh my God, since I was young. Jesus Christ, I'm just stupid. Sorry. As a kid, I would experience weird coincidences. I'm not sure how exactly to explain it. Do you ever get the sense that a thought is not quite your own?
Mm-hmm.
Which I do all the time. Okay. Like it was put there by someone else. If not, I probably sound a little crazy to you.
Not to us.
But that is kind of what it became like. I would be cleaning out a closet and all of a sudden, like this image pop into my head of my mom upset and crying. Then a thought would pop in and say, Mom and Basil are going to break up before Halloween. And then a little over a week, they break up. That's creepy, actually.
That seems almost spirit guide message.
It does.
Ever wanted to spend the night ghost hunting in a haunted asylum? Eloise Asylum presents Paranormal Lockdown. On April 5th from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., you can run the asylum. Discover history, haunts, and the secrets of the past, led by Metro Detroit's premier investigators. There's a limited number of tickets to this exclusive event, and it will sell out. So get your tickets today. Use the promo code HUNT and save $5 off each ticket. Paranormal Lockdown, April 5th at Eloise Asylum. Visit EloiseAsylum.com.
Or an image of someone would appear in my head, like my aunt or my grandma. And then a few minutes later, the phone would ring and it would be one of them. Just little things. It felt like I had a familiar friend with me, kind of giving me clues while growing up. Okay, so you kind of said that.
Yeah, that or you might be a little bit of a medium, girl.
Right. As I got older, I began to associate this familiar company as my spirit guides and ancestors. So funny. I often leave out cups of coffee for my ancestors.
That's so cute.
Oh my God, I need to do that.
Yes.
I thank them out loud and ask them for advice during times in my life when I feel like I need it. This news story has to do with one of those times. Oh, this is cool. It's kind of like an update.
I'm excited.
Okay. A couple of years ago, I was having a few days where I couldn't shake the heavies. I like that, the heavies.
Mm-hmm.
Not that, I just like that saying, sorry. Do you know the feeling before a big shift happens in your life, when you haven't quite become aware that the change is about to happen, and that unawareness creates this stagnant feeling? I call those the heavies, because you need to be where you are right now in order to be where you are soon meant to be, and everything just kind of feels heavy in those moments. Anyways, I was approaching a crossroads, and so before bed, I asked my ancestors to show me guidance and any advice in the form of messages through my dreams. The next morning, I didn't remember my dreams, and I still felt that dreadful heaviness. So I out loud asked my ancestors to protect me on my walk to work and throughout my day. I put on my headphones, locked the door, and began to walk to work. As I was listening to a podcast, I hear whistling. That's weird. I kept walking and the whistling continued. I stopped, lifted my headphones, and the whistling was still there. Like all around me. Ooh, I have full body chills.
Hair standing straight up.
In that moment, a vision of my grandfather's portrait popped into my mind. I had never met my grandpa because he passed before I was born, but my aunt has a huge portrait of him in her house, and this was the image that came into my head. I kept walking to work. The whistling went on. Before I crossed the street in front of my work, I stopped at the crosswalk. I removed my headphones, and this guy popped out of his truck and began, oh my God. I'm like, the trunk. Holy shit, that was so scary because I envisioned somebody popping out of a trunk. Out of his truck and began whistling the same tune that had been encompassing me through my walk. I was like, okay, this is strange. I think Grandpa Neil has been with me throughout my walk. When I go to work, I called my dad and asked if Grandpa used to whistle out loud, and he said, oh, a ton. He was always whistling. I waited to tell him what happened until after work that day. After I hung up, I looked at my ancestry tree, and something told me to look at my great-grandpa, what would have been my grandpa's dad. It turned out he died on June 10th, which was the same date of this day.
What?
Wait, that's fucked up. I have goosebumps. This whole story has just, goosebumps have never left me. I then felt a wave of gratitude and internally thanked my grandpa and great grandpa for looking out for me and for reminding me in their own way that they are always around and protecting me. I hope you enjoyed this story. It is not one of my scary ones, but I thought it was a good one for the approaching thinning of the veil as Halloween is a couple weeks away.
Okay, once again, sorry, we recorded 6 weeks prior, so sorry we sat on this so long.
If you are ever feeling lonely, try and remember that your existence is the product of thousands of people's love story. Oh my God, I'm going to start crying. And even though past loved ones may not be around physically anymore, they are still with you and loving you. Let me know if you enjoyed this, and I will reach out with more paranormal experiences of mine that include some of the more spookier ones. Love y'all. Thank you for creating this wonderful podcast. Love more. Oh my God, I am literally crying.
Okay, first of all, yes, we love this one. We want more of your stories because it had motivation. It had familial ties, spirit guides, a little bit of ghostiness.
Well,
my God.
My eyes are watering. So
That was amazing.
But was she listening to our podcast while on the walk?
You know, I don't know if you were or not, Morg, but in my head, you were.
I wanted to interrupt that part to say, was it? But then I was like, no, it was such a good, I wanted to keep going. But, I think she would have said that if she was. This was probably before maybe our podcast started. I'm going to just say that to make me feel better.
Oh, no, it was just in June of this year. Okay, it was before.
Well, maybe it was June of not this year.
Fair. Okay, I've got a little bit of a longer one for you as well.
Okay.
All right, so this one starts. Hi, all. I've been thinking lately about some experiences I've had over the years, and I wanted to get some opinions on what it is that may be following me. Okay, I like the start. I'm already sucked in. Since around 2014, I think my brain doesn't process time well, which, like Heard, I can never remember what year things happened. Okay. Since around 2014, I've had periodic experiences with something that I've taken to calling the bathroom ghost.
Don't you have one of those?
Yeah, this is as far as I actually read into this and went, I'm going with this one because I also have a bathroom ghost.
Okay.
A vast number of these experiences have happened in or around bathrooms of places I've lived or stayed at for some odd reason. The first encounter in what I think was 2014 was at a friend's house where I often spent the night. I was in my sophomore or junior year of high school at the time. I always got a lot of strange feelings in that house. The air felt heavy and wrong in a way that I couldn't quite explain or articulate, and certain rooms I just couldn't be in because they would make me feel anxious for some reason. Anyway, one of these days I was staying over, I heard something strange that scared me half to death while I was in the bathroom. To the left of me was the door, to the right was the bathtub. On my right side, I heard a voice whisper, "Hey," clear as day, not far from my ear. Ooh. It made me jump out of my skin, and I recognized that it sounded exactly like my friend's voice. Now, the speed with which I convinced myself that I must have somehow just been the shower curtain shifting was honestly remarkable. But just as soon as I'd calm myself down, it did it again. "Hey," in that whispered tone in my friend's voice. Needless to say,
ew, I hate mimics.
I got out of that room as fast as possible. Yeah, there's just something that seems very intrusive.
They're so dark and sinister about mimics because they're trying to get you.
And even if it's not, a lot of prankster spirits will emanate that just to like freak you out. No. Okay, goes on. Now I want to clarify that there was no way this could have actually been my friend. Reasons being that A, the voice came from the side of the room opposite the door, and there was no nearby room through which they could have been speaking through the wall or something. Also, the voice wasn't muffled. And B, I could clearly hear my friend talking loudly to his mom in the living room, which was at least 30 feet from the bathroom door. Now, I only experienced this once in that house, but here's why I think that whatever this thing was, it's followed me. In my first apartment with my friends, there was one notable circumstance of something happening in the bathroom. This may not have been the same thing. It wasn't a voice which mimicked one of my friends, and this was at least 3 or 4 years after the first experience, but myself and my 2 roommates were all sat in the living room watching movies when we suddenly heard an odd sound from the bathroom. The hairdryer had turned itself on. What is with things turning themselves on in the bathroom?
I know.
It had been plugged in, so maybe it was just a spooky coincidence, but there hadn't been any sort of power surge to have triggered it. We were all pretty spooked. There were a couple of other interesting brief experiences in that apartment, but those are less potentially related, I think. So maybe those can be shared some other time. Yes, please. The most recent experience, which truly makes me believe this thing has followed me, happened just last year, not too long after moving into my current apartment. Once again, I was in the bathroom, and I heard a voice come from the door. Clear as day, I heard my fiance's voice say, "Hello?" Reasonably, I had assumed that they came to the door to talk to me, which we do with some frequency, so I respond back, "Hello?" I didn't get any further response, so I started to get a bit nervous. My fiance had been in bed when I went to the bathroom, and the bedroom is just next door, but we have long since learned that we can't hear each other if one of us yells from the bed towards the bathroom. Hence why we sometimes stand outside the door to talk. I go out and, a bit nervous, asked if they had been trying to speak to me through the door. They were lying down where I left them when I came into the room, and they very casually told me, no, they hadn't. Fully shaken now, I told them what I heard, and they were a little amused, like, the bathroom ghost strikes again. Which I did also find funny. They weren't making fun of me for being a little freaked out by any means, which, like, I feel like I've said almost that exact same sentence in my house.
Yeah.
It wraps up, my fiance is not a type of person who tries to scare other people by messing with them, so I know they weren't just playing a joke on me and acting like they had no idea what I meant. Does anyone know what sort of thing this might be? Is it in my head? What kind of thing copies people's voices?
Well, we kind of said it earlier. It seems like a mimic because that is obviously in the name, a mimic. And mimics are usually like dark. They're luring you to do something sinister because they're trying to gain your trust by imitating your loved ones. Obviously, like your friend, your fiance, things like that. So,
and a lot of times those like clinging on spirits try to like, they're feeding off your energy, right? So scaring you and all that sort of stuff. If it has attached to you, it makes sense that it would manifest in a bathroom, or it gets that little extra jolt of elemental energy from water.
I was going to say that. So the bathroom thing, and even with you, we've talked about this, but the bathroom thing is because of the water, right? So you do have more outlets for water because you have the sink, you have the toilet, you have the bathtub or the shower. Like, we're in a kitchen, you just have a sink. I mean, you could experience it, but a bathroom is generally smaller so that there is more energy flowing from the water in a small space. So that's kind of what I was thinking. It's definitely bringing itself forward in a bathroom because I would say that that is where it's getting its like quote unquote power. But I will also say that it might not necessarily be malevolent, but I also don't know if I would do exactly what you're doing and give it no attention. I would pay it no attention. I don't think it's anything good, but I don't necessarily think it's anything like evil and demonic. I just wouldn't pay any attention to it.
I think for the amount of time that it's been kind of going on, if it was demonic, there would be more, right? It just seems like it.
Yeah, and I don't want to scare anybody either because we've talked about this so many times. Not everything is demonic, and even if it's something that's maybe evil or not like good, it doesn't mean it's a demon. So I'm not saying that. So don't even. I'm not even going there.
Yeah, it might be just something that wants attention.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would ignore it because it's clearly not a loved one or a family member that's passed on or whatever like that, because they wouldn't be mimicking other family members and friends of yours to get your attention. It would just present itself as is. So I would just ignore it. I honestly wouldn't think about it. I wouldn't get yourself worked up about it. It's just fucking weird. And when you go into your bathroom, you could even just set the precedence like, hey, leave me alone. This is my personal space.
Set your boundaries and spray that sage or burn it.
Yep.
By the way, we got so excited about discussing this one. This is from, they just left us the name Pretty Bird. Pretty Bird. All right.
So, yeah, I wouldn't freak out or anything.
But yeah, if you got more stories too. These are all great. These are just so great.
But also, if our listeners listening to this have any more thoughts for Pretty Bird, drop it in a comment because, that's kind of also what we're doing. He, she, they, them. They're asking for help of what this could be. So
let's figure out this mystery together.
Give some support. I couldn't think of what to say. Okay, this one comes from King of Nobalds.
King of the Kobolds.
Kobolds. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. Nobalds. Why did I say that?
I don't know, but you obviously didn't play
no
Dungeons and Dragons or World of Warcraft.
No.
Loser.
Okay, this is a very short one, so let's get into it. Well, my brother thinks he saw an owl with a 6-foot wingspan here in Oklahoma. Said it flew so close to the ground he could measure exactly where it was and get an accurate reading. I think it was just a regular great horned owl, and he was slightly wrong about how high it was flying, thus throwing off the measurement. But then cryptozoologist Mark Hall cataloged quite a few sightings of the giant North American owl he called Big Hoot. And who am I to argue with such an objectively hilarious name? And I agree with you.
I love
Big
that.
Hoot.
Big
is
Hoot.
The cutest little name.
It is so cute. I like this one. It's short, sweet, to the point, but it is effective. And now I want to know all about Big Hoot.
Perfect. That's so cute. I love that so much.
All right, folks.
Okay.
So you got a few in there. You got some long ones, some short ones, some ones with updates. What we don't have are voicemails, which you could still leave. So it doesn't matter how long, short, scary, normal, whatever your story is. We want to hear it. We want to keep bringing you these back because it is so fun to like ponder on all your guys' stories. And we need more.
Yes. So we want to wish you a Merry Christmas. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for writing in. These are fun. And even this last one, it's just short and sweet. We'll take any of them because we appreciate all of your guys' stories. We don't discriminate here.
And we would say Happy New Year as well, but we are also going to be dropping an episode the day after Christmas before we go on our break. So if you need another break from your family, we got you with a regular full-length episode. All
right. Well, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. Like Zach said, we do need some more voicemail stories. Even if you've already left us a voicemail, leave us another one. We'll love to hear it. We did get a really fun Facebook video.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really want to give children's names, or I don't want to post a video without permission. I could ask, but it was a really cute video of a listener and her 2 children, and it was just really precious.
It was so cute. It warmed our hearts.
So Shelby, thank you so much for sharing your children with us. We absolutely loved that. So it was so cute. Actually, I'll DM you and ask if we can share that video. But no, you know what? I'm not going to.
No, it's minor children, but it was still very cute.
It was very cute, and I appreciated it. It warmed our little hearts. But anyway, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. Hopefully you like this little bonus episode and we can keep giving them to you if you keep giving us your stories. I'm tired. I'm out of it.
We got to go to bed. Santa's coming soon.
Yeah, we got to get ready. So the most important thing that you can do for us is to creep a real balls.
Goodbye.
Bye.